Well, if you've been out of the workforce for a while, for whatever the reason, maybe you had a baby, maybe you've been laid off, maybe you were doing an MBA, getting back in can be really tricky. So here are some tips on how to transition back into the workplace is transformation expert Debby Carreau. Good morning to you, Debbie.
Hi, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again as well. So many people in Calgary are facing this issue right now for whatever reason. What can people really do? What do they need to be thinking about?
As you transition back into the workplace, the first thing I encourage everyone to do is to really plan their reentry and to be strategic. Treat it like it is a full-time job in itself.
Oh, okay. Actually getting the work and finding the work.
Yeah, without a doubt. So the first thing you want to do is do your research. So think about a couple things. What do you want your work to look like? It's really a chance to reinvent yourself. So do you want to work full-time, part-time, from home?
Right.
Do you like the hustle bustle of downtown? So think about that first.
Right.
And then actually do your homework. So there's two great resources that I always encourage people to think about. The first one is Statistics Canada website is fantastic. Not only does it tell you what jobs are out there and what they pay, but it also looks at the trajectory in terms of, is that profession growing and are there going to be more jobs there or less jobs there?
Oh, that's great information.
It is. And the other one, I don't know if you've seen it before, but Glassdoor. It's almost like the Yelp for workplaces.
Oh,
so
great.
a couple things. One, you can check out prospective employers and find out who's hiring, who's not. Are they good employers? Are they poor employers? Would you even want to work there?
Right.
And people even disclose their salaries on there, so it's a good way to find out what you can make.
Right. So you can do your salary negotiations. I like this.
Absolutely.
If you can actually get that interview.
Yeah.
You also mentioned, too, about really staying confident. Like, forget about, okay, yes, you've been off, but, like, find your confidence and use that.
Yeah, without a doubt, the number one thing that holds people back is lack of confidence and self-doubt. So what you really need to do is do a mental check and sort of think about, as you're going back into the workforce, I've learned new skills while I'm off, and I'm actually coming back to work refreshed, re-energized, an enhanced version of myself.
Oh, I like that spin. That's good.
It's a different way to approach it, and it's going to give you more confidence.
I love it. That's great. What about this idea of having an elevator pitch, so you know exactly what you're going to say in a short amount of time?
Yeah. So that's really important as well, because often, whether you're talking to a recruiter or you meet someone on the street, you've only got a very short period of time to tell people what you're all about and what you're looking for. So think about it in advance and practice it. So what are you looking for? What's your value proposition? So what do you do really well that's going to help businesses? And then what do you need from people? So think about, what is your ask? So if you're meeting someone on the street, are you looking for a referral? Are you looking for them to keep an eye out for job postings that are similar? Right. Or are you looking for consulting opportunities? So ask for what you're looking for.
Right.
And practice, because you have about 30 seconds.
Wow, that's a short amount of time. That can be intimidating. But you're saying don't even do that, just practice, practice, practice.
Absolutely.
Okay, interesting. I also liked your idea of talking to people, telling people, like sort of start that, putting the word out there. Because I've done that in the past too. When I've been looking for something, you just start telling people that you know, this is what I'm looking for. And then all of a sudden word starts circulating and stuff starts coming back to you.
Yeah. No, it's amazing. This thing that we call the hidden job market really is true. So depending which statistics you look at, almost 90% of jobs in some cases aren't even posted. So the only way to find out is to talk to people and to network, and not about handing out business cards, but really just to find out what's happening on the street and tell people what you're looking for, and really just talk to everyone, because you never know whether it's your dry cleaner or your neighbor. Right. It could be your dog walker. Like, who knows? It could be anyone that's going to open some doors for you that you never anticipated.
Interesting. Now, what happens, okay, so let's say you do get the interview and you're sitting there. How do you address that gap on your resume or the time off that you've had?
That's a really, really good question. And I encourage people, again, to practice and think about it, because that question is going to come up.
Right.
But the number one thing is don't try to hide it. So be honest. So whether you were laid off, which is very common in this market here in Calgary, or whether you chose to step out of the workforce for a baby, or whatever the case may be honest about it. And talk about some other skills that you may have gained during that period of time. Maybe you did a renovation on your house and you learned project management and budgeting. Or you volunteered as a manager on a hockey team and you learned conflict management and dealing with difficult people and fundraising. Think about a way to address the gaps differently, that it's not you were doing nothing sitting on the couch.
Right.
But you actually did some other things during that period of time.
Right. Good spin. I like it. You got to spin it around to make it a positive. Debbie, thank you so much. This is great information.
Thanks for having me.
Andy, let's get another check on that forecast. Hot today.